Welcome to the biology class. Chapter 2, Plant Kingdom. In this video, we are going to learn the types of stele. A plant body is made up of different types of tissues. We can study the tissues with the help of a microscope. If we keep a small slice of a root or stem and observe under microscope, we will see the internal structure. In this structure, the central part forms the stele. The stele forms the central part. The stele is the central part of root or stem. It includes vascular tissues. We know that xylem and phloem are the vascular tissues. In the stele, outer part of the vascular tissues are covered by pericycle. At the center, pith is present. So stele constitutes xylem, phloem, pericycle and pith. Pericycle forms the outer part of the stele. Pith forms the central part. Now let us see the types of stele. There are two major types of stele. The primitive one is protostele. Another one is siphonostele. In protostele, phloem surrounds the xylem. In siphonostele, xylem is surrounded by phloem. Phloem forms the outer part in siphonostele. And siphonostele has pith at the center. Haplostele is the first type of protostele. In haplostele, the xylem forms the central cylinder. Xylem forms the central core, and xylem is surrounded by a ring of phloem. Example, Selaginella. In haplostele, the xylem forms a cylinder core. Xylem forms a cylinder at the center, surrounded by a ring of phloem. Actinostele. Star-shaped xylem core is surrounded by phloem. Here there is star-shaped central xylem. It is surrounded by phloem. A ring of phloem surrounds the star-shaped xylem. Example, Lycopodium serratum. Plectostele. Xylem plates alternates with phloem plates. Xylem plates alternate phloem plates. Xylem is arranged in the form of plates. Here the red color xylem plates are alternate with phloem plates. Example, Lycopodium clavatum. Mixed protostele. Xylem groups uniformly scattered in the phloem. Xylem groups uniformly scattered in the phloem. Example, Lycopodium. Mixed protostele with pith is considered as a connecting link between protostele and siphonostele. Let us move on to the siphonostele. In siphonostele, xylem is surrounded by phloem with pith at the center. Ectophloic siphonostele is the first type of siphonostele. Ecto means outer. Ectophloic, phloem forms the outer part. A ring of xylem is found around the pith. Pith is at the center. A ring of xylem is found around the pith. In this picture, xylem is given in red color and a ring of phloem outside the xylem. This is Ectophloic siphonostele. Phloem forms the outer part of the xylem. Example, Asmunta. Amphiphloic Siphonostele. Amphi means both. The phloem is present on both the sides of xylem. Both the sides means both inside and outer part. The red color ring is xylem. Pith is at the center. A ring of phloem is around the xylem. Another ring of phloem is inside the xylem ring. This is Amphiphloic Siphonostele. Example, Marsilia. Let us compare Ectophloic and Amphiphloic. In Ectophloic Siphonostele, phloem forms the outer part. Phloem is found around the outer part of the xylem. In Amphiphloic, a ring of phloem is inside the xylem, another ring is found outside the xylem. Solenostele, a third type. The stele is perforated at the place or places. The stele has openings at a place or places. The stele is perforated at place corresponding to the origin of leaf trace. Leaf trace is at the leaf base. This diagram shows Solenostele. This is leaf trace. Leaf trace is at the leaf base. Leaf trace is a vascular tissue. It connects vascular tissue of stem and vascular tissue of leaf. From the stem, water is transported to the leaf through the leaf trace, and from the leaf, the prepared food materials are transported to the stem through the leaf trace. Corresponding to the leaf origin of leaf trace, the stele is perforated. It has opening. That type is called a Solenostele. Let us see the types of Solenostele. Ectophloic Solenostele. Ecto means outer. Phloic. Phloem forms the outer part. Amphiphloic Solenostele. A ring of phloem is inside the xylem. Another ring of phloem is outside the xylem. These two types are Solenostele. Here pith is at the center. Xylem is surrounded by phloem. Xylem is surrounded by phloem. Phloem forms the outer part. In Amphiphloic Solenostele, pith is at the center and the phloem is present on both sides of the xylem. Phloem is present on both sides of the xylem. Here leaf trace is present. So this is Solenostele. These are the two types of Solenostele. Ectophloic Solenostele, example Asmunta. Amphiphloic Solenostele, example Adianthum pedatum. Dictyostele. The stele is separated into several vascular strands, and each strand is called meristele. This diagram shows three meristele. Stele is separated into vascular strands. Example, Adiantum capillus veneris. Eustele. Eustele is present in dicotyledons. The stele is split into distinct collateral vascular bundles around the pith. Pith is found at the center. The stele is split into collateral vascular bundles. In collateral vascular bundles, xylem and phloem are found side by side. This is eustele. Here in this picture, there are 5 vascular bundles. Each bundle is a collateral vascular bundle. Here the red color xylem forms the central part, phloem forms the outer part. Xylem and phloem are arranged side by side. So this is collateral vascular bundle. These collateral vascular bundles are found around the pith. Because of the splitting of stele, the vascular bundles are formed. This is eustele. Found in dicot stem, that we studied in 10th standard. Atactostele. The stele is split into distinct collateral vascular bundles. These collateral vascular bundles are scattered in the ground tissue. All the tissues other than outer epidermis and vascular tissues are ground tissue. In the ground tissue, collateral vascular bundles are scattered. Example, monocot stem. Here the blue background represents the ground tissue. In the ground tissue, collateral vascular bundles are scattered. Example, monocot stem. Polycyclic stele. The vascular tissue are present in the form of two or more concentric cylinders. Vascular tissues are in the form of rings, one inside and another outside. These are concentric cylinders. Two or more concentric cylinders of vascular bundles are formed. Example, pterygium.